PC. Okay. This one is now working properly. Now I'm just trying to figure out, like... Because I think recently what happened was that I was trying to... Let's see. Because recently there is this new meta. Or not new meta, but new... whatchamacallit. There's a new downloadable content in which you can... For Omlet Arcade, you can then stream it. You can't stream it through PC, but you can stream the. Let's say if there was like a be right back, so to speak, it would supposedly there will be like a change of scenery, so that people can then see what's going on. Like, let's say if I'm taking a break, then they will see this page that says be right back, and then it will list a whole bunch of other links involved. But apparently, I think what may also have happened was that maybe in the process it was then somehow not showing, I guess, so to speak. So I guess if I go to settings, no. Interesting. I guess they don't have it unless if you like reconnect it. So right now I guess like it still works. Let's see if I can. Let's see if the message was. Oh, okay, it does project it. Okay, so you can technically now when I reconnect stream, then basically. So I think now what I have to do is that when I launch the stream, I'll launch the stream by itself, and then I can then reconnect it through the PC so that I can then do some chatting along without having to like text involved or so. But yeah, nonetheless, just as I promised today, I'll be doing the game of life, or the virtual board game of life, as promised. And just a little background on, or a little tutorial on what it is itself, also like what are some of the main functions. So if you click over here, so to speak, this is where you click on, you can adjust your avatar, so to speak. And hello VC, thank you for those who just stayed here for the past 10 minutes or so, for joining along. And over here you can change your gender, so to speak, or gender color. Over here you can change vehicle colors, or just vehicle types, which you use as like pieces that you would use on Monopoly or so forth. And over here you get to adjust the costumes, so to speak, and these are you can only obtain it when you unlock the puzzle pieces, which I will show in just a bit. And over here it's just the avatar, and of course they only have, in particular, this, I guess for me, I just chose the wheel just for the sake of it, and I like it. And over here there's the shop button. Unfortunately the shop button doesn't work for me in particular, maybe it'll work for you. As you can see, you get to purchase the different type of layouts, so to speak, and they look pretty nice, to be honest, but I unfortunately am not able to connect with it, with the shop itself. And over here there's the collectibles, as I just mentioned. And how do you over here, if we click on this information button, what are these? So each world has exciting collectibles, just as I'm reading, and waiting to be unlocked. So you get for each puzzle that you unlock, like for example, you want to complete the shirt, you have to obtain a specific one. For instance, there's a heart icon. This heart icon basically represents happiness. So if you collect 6 happiness within the game itself, then you can unlock that specific collectible. And then that collectible could be an outfit, which could be this one in particular, which the strange dragon costume, I guess. So yeah. At the moment, I'm not up for VC, unfortunately, it's because I'm trying to balance out explaining the tutorial, so to speak. But yeah, and then as you can see here, once you unlock the item, then you can start to use it. And over here, these are like several of the other maps, which looks pretty nice, I gotta admit. So, and I enjoyed that the most. And last but not least, as we click on the play icon, there are several ways you can play this. One, you can do online multiplayer, which you can, let's say you created a game and you want to search for other people online. It will automatically connect you with other people, so to speak. Let's say right now it's searching, I suppose. Wait, let me just quickly go back. I guess maybe something just froze here. So let's go ahead and create game. So let's say I'm bored and I just want to search for other players, and now it's loading. So there's that spiral of death effect, so to speak. And then once it loads, it will search for other players that are currently on the app itself. So you have to get the game in order to then link up. And let's say I don't want to do it, I'll just immediately cancel it out. And over here, there's online with friends. This is going to be an interesting part. So basically, this is where you get the lobby code. And how do you get this lobby code, you might ask? So you have to create a game first, and once you click on play, it will automatically generate a code, and the people who has the game basically can just type in the lobby code, and from there they can then join you in the game of life. And which is quite interesting as well, because I never experienced that before, but you know, it's something new. So for example, over here, then you want to type in the specific code that your friend gave you, and then you can then join the game. And over here, this pass and play. So let's say you're at home, you're bored because of quarantine, and you had like one friend that you wanted to join along, and so you guys decide to play. So if you want to play pass and go, which is also in the Monopoly as well, then you can choose like one human and then you pass it to another person when it's their turn, or you can have like two other computers which are like AIs, so to speak, and they'll automatically play itself. And for me today, since it's more of a slower pace for me personally, I would prefer the single player. And we'll just start a new game, because recently the stream was kind of iffy, so to speak, and I only had the classic world. So let's go ahead and do that. And once we create a game, I don't like purple. Purple means royal in the Roman days, but for me, I just prefer blue. Blue is my favorite color. And over here, this is like the layout of the game itself, and this actually looks a lot nicer than the ones like the physical board, so to speak. So right now what they'll do is the AI is going to randomly select who gets the turn first, and then they will count from the right. So then first, second, third, so I'm currently on third place. So basically that will be turn 3 will be, once they go through that rotation, then it will be my turn, and they'll be spinning the wheel. And let's say they land within 4 spaces, so then now they get to now there's an action. Okay, so basically you get to spin to win, or get a score bonus for knowledge. So then there are many ways to win this game. You can win the game by accumulating more money, or you can accumulate experience, so to speak. Like happiness is the heart, wealth, education is the book or knowledge, and investment or wealth will be the piggy bank. And then from there, you get, once you accumulate those certain amount, then you can also win the game as well. And usually they will finish it off by landing on retirement itself. So alright, so it's now my turn, and I can choose the college or the career way. And you know what, it definitely applies to life itself, which is kind of coincidental, right? Because some people would choose, because right now college tuitions are quite expensive, so to speak, so people would now have to choose career. Basically you get a job immediately, you can become a YouTuber, so to speak, streamer, whatever you want, technically speaking, if you decide to go to career path. But for me, in real life, I went to college, of course, like a 4-year institution, which I didn't pay 100k, unlike what this game is saying, but you kind of get the gist of it, so to speak. So for meantime, I'm like the old traditional way. I prefer college, so to speak, and college is pretty exciting for me personally when I went through the phase. And right now I end up landing in college, so I basically graduated, which is quite fascinating, to be honest. That's the thrill of graduating itself, and now I have 1 knowledge. Yes, I'll be doing this today in particular. Given that it was a pretty long day for me, today me and my friends went hiking up the trail, and as you probably saw like the picture in the Social Unity server, basically we hiked for 3 hours straight. 3 hours straight, maybe like 1 or 2 breaks or so, and we hiked in total we basically accumulated at least 10 miles, like back and forth, so to speak. And I tell you, like, that was like the toughest hike I've ever been through, so to speak. But yeah. But nevertheless, right now we have the film director. We have 2 choices: film director or chef. Basically, you get to pay less taxes if you're a film director. Basically, you'll end up with 40k after taxes, and you can become a chef, which you can earn 100k salary or 90k. And when you land on number 2, you get a bonus, technically speaking. If you land on number 9, you get a bonus as well. So you kind of balance out. Or here you can choose higher salary and pay the taxes later, or pay it now. For me, I would, to be honest, Chef Gordon Ramsay will probably be proud of me if I click on chef, but but of course I'm no cooker, so to speak. I still need to work on that in particular. And so then you get to do another spin to start off your career. So you got 7 moves, and it seems like I landed on payday and I'm on action now. So this is going to be quite interesting. So you can get guitar lessons to increase knowledge so that you can be the king of knowledge, or you can get a rare comic book which you can later on sell. For me, I would probably go for guitar lessons. To be honest, I have a guitar right now. That's what microwave meals are for, Sam. Oh my goodness. Microwave meals. Oh, that's the beauty of it, I guess. You know, you just like take less than 2 minutes just to microwave it out. Well, depending on which one you get. Hungry Jack, I think, was like 7 minutes long, I think. 7 minutes or so. And sometimes it feels like it's taking forever, but at the end of the day, you know, it is a meal that you get pretty much fed up, you know, within maybe less than 2-3 minutes. But yeah. And this AI itself is choosing college and video game designer or chef. Oh, he actually goes for chef as well. So I don't know. Is probably going to be Chef Jamie for sure. And plus, if they land on 2 as well, I'm playing with the bot at the moment. Basically, these are AIs, and as a way of showing, what the game looks like, it's better to go with the AIs first, and then progress towards like online multiplayers. Which now I'm kind of thinking of it, I'll probably do that maybe within the next stream or the following stream. Today, I feel like the game of life is more of a slower pace, and I kind of enjoy that because, you know, you don't have to deal with too much stress, so to speak. Like, for example, like last night, we were playing at least 3 to 4 hours of World of Warship Blitz. You know, we went through so many losses, you know. So at least 30 to 40 matches plus, and basically we only won 2 to 3 matches, so to speak. That's how bad it was. So today is just more of a, you know, trying to discover another game, so to speak, and also, you know, create a slower pace. And, you know, to be honest, you get more stories out of me when I'm playing this game because, you know, it's a lot more soothing and the music is a lot more calmer in comparison to the intensity of the World Warship Blitz game. And I think that's the beauty of it. So right now it's my turn apparently, and kart race. So basically, if you have the highest spin, so right now Life has 6 and Paige has 8. I have to get 10 or 9 or 10, you know. just to A, to tie it out with I am over 2. Oh my goodness. Easier to chat when playing this. Yeah, indeed it is, you know, like I get less distracted with this game in particular, and you know, I guess it's also easier to focus as well. In comparison to World of Warship Blitz, it demands like anything that deals with like teamwork kind of games, it requires more effort and also requires more dedication and focus into the game. So that's why like there were times when me and Mr. Mime would play World of Warship Blitz, and like I think we did a 1v1 and of course it didn't go well for me. Like basically he wrecked me easily because I think he was playing DD and I was playing a BB in tier 6 or some sort, and next thing you know, like I got obliterated. I was like focusing intensely, and we were doing voice chat on Discord as well, and next thing you know, I'm just like trying to focus like to see where he's at, and next thing you know, I lost focus because he ended up appearing like out of thin air and just like just trolled me the whole game as well. So yeah, so that was like it was tough to swallow, to be honest. It was like a tough pill to swallow, but you know, it is what it is. And get married or stay single. I think I prefer to stay single, you know, to be honest. And you know, that also applies in real life too. I think I prefer to stay single at the moment because, of course, like just for the sake of the disputes, etc., that goes on with it, and I think and plus I think even with if I got into a relationship, it would be harder for me to do streaming, do work, and also do education as well. In future, are you going to play with other people? Yes, I will, and that will be probably within the following week, I would say. Definitely before December 8th, because I got a exam that's coming up, or a final exam for the night class, so that's gonna be a tough. I'm gonna need some true dedication on focusing on studies. Yeah, but yeah, I know I would rather stay single, or me and my best friend are gonna rent a place together. Wow, you know, actually it's kind of funny. Today I spoke with a Uber driver, and you know, he recommended even of course getting a girlfriend and then like staying in a place, because of course you can split costs. The issue I have with it, I don't know, it can vary for other people relationships, so to speak, because I used to work in property management. Oh snap, so basically a bonus for page. Oh, and it deducted from my own paycheck. Oh, I guess I forgot about that rule. Oh well. But yeah, and I used to work in property management, and oh my goodness, my fate. Oh no, please don't let me land on taxes. You know, this is gonna be a bad payout. Oh, 100k. Nice. Look at that. That really helps me out. Imagine if it was taxes, right? Taxes would have like screwed me over big time. But based back on business management, right, or property management. So basically, one time that we have a resident, apparently he was living with his girlfriend. But then next thing you know, they got into an argument, and of course, arguments are quite normal within family members, or the people whom you love. But this one really took a toll for both of them, and next thing you know, the girlfriend left to another state, and guess what? After she left to another state, she basically blocked every single text and chat with his girlfriend, with his boyfriend. And the boyfriend was still staying in that specific apartment, and they had to pay 3k, at least 3k or $3,000, 3,000 US dollars per month just to stay in that apartment. Plus, we're not counting utilities as well. That's the issue. So if you count utilities, etc., that can accumulate up to at least an additional maybe $300 to $400 from what I've seen. and it is a pretty hefty price to pay. And I think at the end, if he wanted to break the lease, he would have to pay an additional $1,000 to leave or some sort. Because since they have like a year lease, if you have a year lease, then basically you can only if you break the lease, so let's say if you stay there for 6 months and you decide to leave, then basically you have to pay double. You have to pay double the rent price, or so to speak, and that was a pretty hefty price. He couldn't really, well, technically at the end he decided to pay it off, because at the end of the day, it was in the long run, if he continued to pay the rent itself, it wouldn't necessarily be worth it, so to speak, because you're gonna, like, let's say you spend 3K, so then you times that by 12, that's roughly 36K right out the spot. Now, if he keeps on paying, if he pays double, basically he would, let's say double, so that's roughly 6K. You can pay 6K and leave. Basically, that saves you a whole lot more. So if you spend at least 3K, so 3K times the 6 months you're living, so 18K plus on top of the double the rent, I think it was 6K, so it's 6K, so 24K, and then 36K minus the 24K, so that leaves you with 12K that you saved. And man, I think he made the right choice, because you know what, he basically ended up saving a lot more than what he lost, so in essence, it's a lot more doable, so to speak. Ooh, almost landed on taxes. Gosh dang, that was a close call. Plant to garden or costume contest. I prefer not to to do any of the contests and stuff, because I don't want to lose that much right now. But yeah, taxes would have been definitely. I think in reality though, depending on how much of the income you generate, I think I don't recall what's the US taxes, so to speak, tax bracket, but the more you earn, I think you have to pay 30% or more. If you're a businessman and you own the business, you have to pay even more, because right now, I think under Biden, you have to pay an additional, it's kind of tough to say, I think an additional 30%, 39, I could be wrong, definitely check that out. But he basically he called it the capital tax or some sort. Ooh, please give me a highest number. Nope, never mind. I basically don't. My best friend has assessments as well at the moment, but we finish at the same time. When we finish, I'd love you to meet him. He went to Wowsb Blitz, but he's only has 400 battles. Hey, no problem. Yeah, definitely. I think, there'll definitely be my pleasure to meet your friend. And we can definitely play some battles as well. Yeah, I don't really care, to be honest. Like, however many battles you play, I mean, I don't really care. We can just still play no matter what. Anyways, I don't really have much friends in Asia, EU, and Russia server at the moment. So, NA, I'm kind of full at the moment. We'll probably have to do some house cleaning on there later, and we'll probably trim it down from 200 to maybe 195 or some sort. I'm getting an accountant. Oh, as in, like, you're planning to become an accountant? Or, like, if you were to play this game, you would get an accountant. Because my friend, actually, interestingly enough, about accountants, in the US, my friend who was an accountant had to take at least 7 exams in order to then get the license to become a CPA, so Certified Practitioner Accountant, so that's when you can actually deal with your clients personally, by yourself, so to speak. And it's pretty intense, I gotta admit. Like, it's really intense to become a accountant here in the States or US, because there's so many laws involved, etc. Ooh, startup ban. I guess I have no happiness. I guess I might as well just go with take a sushi masterclass, you know. Actually, that would be quite interesting. Like, imagine that in Japan in particular. I don't want to have to do taxes. An accountant would do my taxes. Oh, I see. Yeah, definitely taxes can be a tricky situation to be in with, and if you don't do it right, it can backfire on you, and this guy just went through marriage. But yes, an accountant, yeah, accountant doing your taxes, you know, sometimes it can be a risky process though, I gotta admit. Sometimes accountants, depending on the accountant that's doing your taxes, can vary. Some of them are true, they have their mindset into it, some of them don't. So make sure to ask as many questions as you can when you do hire an accountant. That's basically a personal advice that I got from my friends who were accountants, who are accountants right now as we're speaking, so to speak. So yeah. Ooh, bowling duo or babysit. But yeah, to be honest, like, it's funny thing. Okay, I think I asked in the beginning, I asked the question, so to speak, that like, oh, what was the background behind this game? Like, how did I came to this game? You know, funny thing is that back when I was maybe 10 to 12 years old, so to speak, back in our church, basically we had this board game called Life, and it's actually a physical one, of course, and you have to input all the structures, like kind of put them together in order to do so. And yeah, the board game version is a lot more interesting, to be honest. Like, it's fun to move the pieces, but then like sometimes like just sticking the little people, including your pets, into it is like toughest part, you know. It's almost like playing Battleship, you know, when you're trying to like aim at your opponents, like A7, and then you try to plug in that little like plastic part into the holes, and sometimes it might break. Like the output of it like end up breaking in the process. So you gotta be really careful with those fragile pieces, you know. And it was fun, you know, like playing with like some of my friends in church and so forth, and it really helped. And also like created like a sense of like sort of awareness, so to speak. Like, you know what, like, I'm playing a game of life, and I'll also like try to need to later on figure out like what I'm gonna need to do later on in life, you know, like what kind of career and etc. Getting the colors mixed up in battleships is so annoying. Yes, indeed, it does get quite annoying. And you know what, I think like even the board game maker is probably saying like, you know what, just get used to it. Or you can just get over it, you know. Either way, one way or the other, you're gonna have to deal with it, you know. And you know, it is part of life, I guess. So right now I'm kind of in the diverging road. I can do online course, pay on 100k, or continue life. I guess I might as well just do online course, you know, just to. But the more knowledge you gain, the more of a headache it becomes, though, to be honest. That from what I've gotten so far. Ooh, a brain surgeon or an astronomer. So at the end, I'll get 60k if I do land on taxes. But if I do astronomer, I get paid slightly more, 40k. But then I might get 50k back if I got taxes deducted. Yeah, I'll probably just do it astronomer, to be honest. So lucky number is now replaced with number 5. Ooh, let's see. No! Oh, maybe I should have stuck with my own career. Gosh dang it. Oh my goodness, it actually landed on taxes. Great. No, why you do this to me? Wow, it just became a reality. I have an entire draw of board games. Okay, interesting. I mainly play card games though. Okay, so like maybe card games like maybe Uno or perhaps like blackjack. I wouldn't say poker, but if you end up doing that, good choice at least. Yeah, definitely those are some of the good choices. except for poker though. I completely condone gambling, but you know, some people might. But if you have only like the poker chips, then maybe that's fine, so to speak, because you're just playing with friends. You know, you're raising bid and etc. And you're calling bluffs, but at the same time, of course, try not to play. I highly condone that, like, for my audience, you know, just to make sure that, you know, if you do end up doing poker and I would highly recommend like staying away from it, because as some of the people would say, like, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And you know, it's kind of true, to be honest, because apparently there was an alleyway in Vegas, and apparently there was a lot more homeless over there, so to speak. And from what a lot of people recall, that those are what the story goes, is that the people who didn't make their fortune in that specific in Vegas end up being in that alleyway. Basically, they're completely indebted, etc. And yeah, how do I pronounce this actually? Utre? Is it Ukre? I don't know. Is it Ukre or some sort? I'm gonna have to figure that out. That's like the first time. How to pronounce Ukre. Oh, Euchre. Oh, Euchre. Okay, Euchre. What does Euchre mean? Euchre is a card game for 4 players that is played in tricks or rounds with a deck of 32 cards. The first sense of the verb Euchre arose from an action that takes place during the game. A player is euchred when an opponent blocks him or her from winning 3 or more tricks after making trump. I'll probably have to be honest, I will probably look into this a little bit more. And apparently the origin of euchre comes from Canada, South Africa, and Europe. Oh wait, maybe it's just it. Oh no, it is what it is, yeah. Is euchre hard to learn? Euchre is a card game where Oh, for 4 players, 2 teams of 2 people take turns playing cards to win tricks. Okay, that's interesting. It's an easy game to learn, and having a rule book will make it even more smoother if you're just learning how to play euchre. Yep, I'll probably have to check that out. Yuka. Oh, okay, got it. It's also like a crib. Yeah, interesting. Probably have to look into that, to be honest. You can also play 1v1. Oh, I think like there's a game called Bridge. You can also do 1v1 as well, but Bridge is pretty intense from what I've seen, to be honest. So definitely there's Speed. You can also do 1v1 too. Speed, Game of Speed, Solitaire. I don't know. I think you only play by yourself. Other than that, I think that's about it. Like, that's all I can think of. Oh yeah, those that have recently joined, thank you for taking the time to do so out of your busy day. I know that, you know, it's been a rough week for all of us, and if it has been, then I feel ya, so to speak. Oh, I've never heard of Bridge or Speed. We played different card games. Yeah, I believe a lot of the depending on your culture as well. Depending on the culture and the place that you live, they have a variety of different card games that are involved, so to speak. So definitely, they'll have a different name for it. You know, I think I wouldn't say. Man, I was about to like compare Mahjong with Dominoes, but definitely I would not do so at the moment, because then I will have to like separate out like what it is or distinguish both of them, etc., and what are their rules, etc., and that's gonna be a little bit longer. But Mahjong, I'm sort of still trying to understand it, but it's a little bit tough. Mainly because we are in ocean between our countries. Nice. Yep, that's true. We are in the ocean between our countries. Which city do you live in? States anyway. I'm a little bit reluctant to answer that question, to be honest. Because of course I don't want people to. It's kind of confidential, but I can say that I do in terms of states, I live in California, so to speak. California is the place that I've been living for the rest of my life, ever since my parents immigrated here. Yeah, ever since my parents immigrated here, I immigrated to the States. My mother actually immigrated from PRC to New York, and it was kind of surprising, like, especially when I first talked to her. You know, that's why getting to know your parents' story actually really helps out, and also knowing the history behind it too. And, you know, of course, everyone has a, of course, life is short, you know, and it's always good to know the story of, like, your parents, like where they came from, and then it helps us then understand a little bit more. Oh snap, you live in Brisbane in Queensland. Okay, now oh man, I don't know, should I? Okay, you know what, I will give one clue. Oh, it's boiling already. How many degrees in Fahrenheit, if you don't mind me asking, because I'm a little bit rusty in Celsius when it comes to adjusting it from Fahrenheit to Celsius, you know, or Celsius to Fahrenheit. Because there's this specific formula that you have to go through, that you have to like, if I were to look it up, like, right now, like, convert Celsius to Fahrenheit formula, you have to do 0 degrees Celsius times 9/5 parentheses plus 32 equals the 32 degree Fahrenheit. So let's say you had 0 degrees times 9/5, then of course plus 32, which 0 times 9/5 equals 0, and then plus 32, then you get the Fahrenheit, so to speak. Yeah. But nevertheless, yeah, math is not my strong subject as well. So, wait, what? 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, dang. That's actually not too bad, gotta admit. You know, the funny thing is that in PRC, or People Republic of China, basically there was this place, there was like 5 boiling places, so to speak. I think we went to let me see, 5 hottest places in China. I forgot which place it was. I think it was Nanjing. It sounds familiar. I could have been there or somewhere else, and you know, the next thing you know, it was like at least more than 100 degrees, like 110 degrees or some sort. Like, that's how crazy hot it gets, like, during the summer. And the funny thing is that there was apparently during that Beijing tour trip, apparently there was a stinky tofu stall nearby. Man, it just lingered in the air, like, for that long period of time. I don't know when they started making it or so forth, but man, it just lingered in the air for so long, and I couldn't handle it. So fortunately, there was a McDonald's nearby, and plus it has the AC the AC or the air conditioner involved. So I immediately told my parents that, you know, we gotta get into that McDonald's, you know, also for their $1 ice cream as well, so you can't go wrong with that. So yeah. Oh snap. Oh, no way. Gonna hit to retirement, I guess? Let's see. Oh, win or lose big, let fate decide. So basically, the fate is gonna decide, like, within those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you got 6 spaces out of 8. You can land on taxes, which is kind of a lower chance, so to speak. So that's a 1/4 chance, 25%. And the other rest is like 3/4, so that's 75%. For me, I'm just gonna play safe, to be honest. I already have 900k, and I want to just stay safe on there. Oh no, please don't. No, my goodness, now I have to pay up. Great, okay, whatever. we'll see. We'll collect the 200k, still maintain that bonus. It just like negates bonus, so to speak. Oh, complete 1,000-piece puzzle. Or get a gigantic sunglasses. I prefer this. Wow, dude, this is like the most nerdiest career, or like the most nerdiest route to go through, to be honest. Let's see. Average is 112 Fahrenheit in northern Queensland. Wow, that's intense. In summer, that is. Oof. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy though. I think there was a desert nearby near Queensland, from what I've understood. I think the demographics of the terrains in Australia is it's like all in one, to be honest. Terrains in Australia. Let's see. Yeah, so from what I'm seeing, it says mostly low plateau with deserts, rangelands, and a fertile plain in the southeast, mountain ranges in the east and southeast. Natural resources apparently is minerals, coal, and timber. So China kind of somewhat relies on coal, so to speak. But yeah, and I think that's why there's still a sense of trade war between US and China and Australia, and now it's like going all over the place. But you know what, I'm just gonna not talk about it, because I think a lot of people would be like kind of thrown out or so forth. So, but yeah, ooh, life is holy snap, I'm a robotics engineer. Gosh dang. Well, in life, of course, is a journey, so to speak, as a lot of people would say. And life is a journey, it's not necessarily not necessarily like a straight up race, to that, or like a sprint to that finish line, so to speak. Sprint to the finish line would probably be later, but not now at the moment, so to speak. Speaking of wars, have you heard of the Great Emu War? I believe I've heard of that before. It was, let's see, Great Emu War. I probably have to look that up real quick, because I've heard that before, but it's just like I wasn't in depth with it. Oh, how did Australia lose the Great Emu War? Settlers attempted and failed to call the machine guns into action against the emu in 1934, 1943, and 1948. Parliament, perhaps remembering the reams of bad press and embarrassing lack of dead birds, never again deployed its troops against the mighty emu. The Australian military lost the Emu War. Dude, that's almost like the Cod Wars between Great Britain and Iceland, apparently. It's kind of funny, because apparently the Cod Wars happened 3 times, and guess what? So basically what happened was that the UK was fishing within Iceland's territory, and basically, or territorial coast, so to speak. So then they decided to expand it. So then each time they expanded, basically UK decided to threaten them. So they would try to use, like, there was at one point where they started to use their naval ships. UK decided to use their naval ships to ram into the Icelandic coast guards, so to speak. So yeah, this is kind of crazy how it went. I believe, let me just make sure, the Cod War between UK and Iceland. Yeah, definitely you can search that up. It was pretty interesting. I was mind blown by that, because UK fish and chips is quite popular, and I love fish and chips, no doubt about it. And I would, especially if you dip it with tartar sauce, that's like the best thing you're ever gonna have. Especially with that little drizzle of lemon juice. Ooh, that's the bomb right there. Oh, I'm ready to retirement. Oh, okay, you get to do pension, or you get to do a bucket list. Actually, I'll probably do this, to be honest. Yeah. Let's see. Not just once, but twice. Oh, interesting. Really? There's twice in the Emu War? That's crazy. Well, Cod Wars was like 3 times, so I don't know. I'm an avid random trivial knowledge person. Oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. Why you want to know? Oh, that's a good one. That's a pretty good username, I gotta admit. Where you from then? Trivia knowledge is always pretty good. Yeah, trivia knowledge is always pretty good. You know, you get to... The more you know, the funner it gets. Sometimes it can be kind of a headache, so to speak, if you need to use it for like a class or so forth. Mostly you're just gonna cram all the knowledge in order to pass that exam, so to speak. Ooh, Star Travel album? Oh, I want to find the sunken treasure. Dude, that's been my dream actually, to find a sunken treasure, but unfortunately, I'm not built for the scuba diving, so to speak. Yeah, there's like so many shipwrecks nearby that I wish I can just like sink in, or just like dive in and just like find it. You know, just like finding a Titanic, or perhaps like finding one of the 1700s ships, so to speak, like the tall ships. Oh man, those are the dreams, like tall ships in particular. Those are my favorites. Like, even though it's back in like the colonial days, so to speak. Colonial / you know, like from the time of Queen Elizabeth to the time when the Industrial Revolution occurred. From the US. Nice. Oh, nice to see that we got someone from the US as well. I beat my history teacher at a Pacific War test by 37%. Interesting. Gotta tell us more about it, to be honest. He wasn't happy. The class was laughing at us. Yeah, I think they would, to be honest. Because one, of course, there's a sense of reputation that's involved, I guess. So then when a student beats a teacher, everyone's like, oh snap, he just got owned. Oh my goodness, like, I think we can say so many times, you know, it's occurred when teachers even when I'm teaching in English second language, so to speak, on Saturdays, you know, sometimes the students really get me and you know, or call out on certain things, and you know, it's kind of fun because you get to sense of interaction. But some teachers are really strict, so they're like, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you know. And when it comes to that, and it comes really, a lot of the times students become not interested in it. So, and when students aren't interested, then basically what's the point of learning? You know, like, learning is supposed to be engaging and also trying to, like, not only memorize and recite, but also to use it for practical knowledge. Use it. The reason why I teach English as an English second language is to help improve those that are learning the English at the moment, to hopefully help them build up the vocabulary and also understanding the grammatical sentence structure, so to speak. And of course, like, to be honest, up to this day, I still struggle with grammar because there are still like specific areas, like for example, comma splices, like adding too many commas or so forth, and that's kind of annoying, you know, to be honest. But you know, it is what it is. It's a grammatical rule. I just know so much naval stuff. I think you do, to be honest. I think from last time we talked about it, man, you're able to like say out a lot of the naval ships, like their statistics, or perhaps even the history of it, so to speak. And you know what? I think, as you have all known so far, like during my stream, you know, I kind of try to balance out like history and also like life stories as well, you know, because I do enjoy sharing stories, and I hope you all to enjoy listening in some ways. And you can also feel free to type on chat as well, you know, that's a way of interaction, you know. Don't necessarily have to always watch and then like be silent about it, so to speak. So feel free to like say whatever is in your mind. Just be respectful, as I say before. You know, it just makes chat a lot more, or streaming more interesting. And I love to know, and I always like to get to know other people, so to speak, just to see where they're coming from. And let's see, spin to win. Oh my goodness, I got nothing. Oh well, you know, sometimes you get nothing, you know. Oh, they uncovered the body of a sailor from the HMA Sydney yesterday. Oh, interesting. That's like, wow, that's kind of a... Have they, by chance, been able to find out who he is, like, in particular, like the name of him? Or are they still just like investigating? I'm pretty sure they're probably going to investigate a little bit more further because it takes time to investigate like corpses and so forth. Oh snap, game is already over? Oh, it's that fast? Ooh, this is where the dramatic results occur. Total money, I think I got the least, for sure. But life isn't, a lot of people would say like life isn't about money, you know? And I think, you know, to a certain extent, it's kind of a balance, you know. You need money to live, to put a shelter above your head. But at the same time, if you continue to focus on money, somehow the meaning of life is just kind of like meaningless, so to speak, you know, because to be honest, like, I'm more about the experience, because sometimes I like thrills. Like, for example, I don't know if you can feel free to check out my channel. Like, I shared a video for skydiving, 18,000 feet, and this was my third time skydiving, tandem skydiving. So basically, you're attached with like a instructor or an expertise in that specific skydiving world. Dang, what in the world? Wait, how in the world? Oh my goodness, he got a master's degree and a video blogger as well. And then he got 1 pet, 1 happiness, 5 times the wealth, probably did investment, 5 times the knowledge. That's not too bad though, and was 1 house, I probably didn't do that. But yeah, that's, you know, to be honest, we can actually do an on-time multiplayer. I'll probably do this. Dude, you know, it's the best way to conquer fears of heights. Well, depending on where you're at, though, you know. So, and you know what? I think it's also been, you know, the first time I skydive, it was in 14,000 feet. So you don't have to like go too high at the moment. You know, you can just incrementally do it. For example, I think, I went to Skydive Surf City, which was near Santa Cruz, in California. Pretty good place to go there if you want to like first try out your skydiving. If you ever do come to California to visit, I think it's best to pay in cash because you get discounts out of that. And you know, 14,000 feet, like, it's still pretty high, and I was kind of scared, you know, like, what if the plane could, you know, like, just end up exploding, you know, or perhaps, like, the tandem, like, breaks off. But, yeah. So when you're going the opposite direction while diving the Marianas, oh, that's intense, actually. I think, like, most of the ocean has still yet to be explored. I would join, but I better get back to work. Have a good day. See you next time. Yeah, definitely see you next time, JT. I wish you well on your work as well, and hopefully we can definitely play soon as well. I think next stream we'll try to aim for Monday if possible. If not, then Friday would most likely to be a case. So yeah, and also Friday is also Black Friday. I forgot about that. So that's gonna be quite interesting. But yeah, definitely good day to you, JTT. Appreciate you for stopping by. And yeah, you know, to be honest, diving in the Marianas is gonna be like a big challenge. A lot of us are gonna face, to be honest, for humankind, so to speak, because there's still, I think, what's the let me just quickly check. Actually, Marianas Trench. The Marianas Trench, like, why Marianas Trench is so deep? Has anyone been to the bottom? So apparently, fun fact, on January 23rd, 1960, 2 explorers, U.S. Navy Lieutenant Don Wash and Swiss engineer Jacques Piccard, became the first people to dive 11 kilometers, 7 miles to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. as a new wave of adventurers gear up to repeat the epic journey. Oh, dude, that's pretty cool. And that's also located in the BBC news article if you want to check that out. Let's see. I think here's the news article as well for you guys to check out too. That's the BBC news article, which is quite impressive, you know. And you know, I think that will bring a lot of inspiration for those who want to explore it. And so I think another question does occur, you know, like why Mariana Trench is. Or Mariana Trench? Yeah, Mariana Trench is so deep. One reason that Mariana Trench is so deep, he added, is because the Western Pacific is home to some of the oldest seafloor in the world, about 180 million years old. Seafloor is formed as lava at mid-ocean ridges. When it's fresh, lava is comparatively warm and buoyant, riding high on the underlying mantle. That's pretty interesting, to be honest. Like, I've never really gone that deep before. You know, I even struggle to like go through that too. But yeah, definitely I think it's kind of interesting how it goes. Okay, I guess now it's my turn. Let's go ahead and try the career side, to be honest. I would definitely try out Pop Store, video blogger. Okay, let's go for that. Let's go. Oh, 9. Even better. So, okay. Wow, that's pretty fast actually. Okay, what are some of the actions? Ooh, upgrade computer. That'll be interesting. I've never upgraded a computer before, which would be quite interesting to do. I know a friend of mine who does that, and sometimes they do it for a living too, which you can become an IT tech support if you want to do that. If you're interested in it, if you're want to help like your clients or so like fix computers, etc., those would be the best way, best field to go for, so to speak. Yeah. But yeah, I think, wow, exotic bird watcher. Oof, that's, you know, that's kind of interesting. Exotic bird watcher. I would probably do something like that too if I got the chance. That'd be interesting. Yep. So, oh, stay single. Yep. But yeah, I think, you know, kind of recently I was watching a fighter by the name of, I believe, Tyson Fury. Yeah, Tyson Fury, a British professional boxer, and I gotta admit, like, he was pretty intense. Like when it comes to like a heavyweight champion, like matches, so to speak. And Big Year, a good movie. Big Year? I don't recall seeing Big Year, to be honest. Big Year? Oh, featuring Jack Black. Oh, that's even better. Let's see. Oh, personal challenge or an informal competition amongst birders who attempt to identify as many species of birds as possible. Oh. You know what? I'm probably... You know what, to be honest, I will probably stream that on my Discord server, to be honest. I would definitely do that. That's actually a pretty good idea. Let me just quickly put that on the ideas tab. You know, you actually bring a pretty good point. I appreciate you for bringing that idea. So let's see. What was it? Big Year movie. Okay. Yeah, just gonna put that as my slightly good, like a little reminder. Oh snap! What in the world just happened? I just landed on. Oh my goodness! Oh, I got kind of screwed up there. But yeah, Thank you for the recommendation. Why you want to know? Appreciate ya. And yeah, so definitely. Like Tyson Fury, you had like a pretty good matchup against Wider, because I think he ended up doing like he did end up doing one rematch because because apparently Wider was complaining about how like maybe Fury had like something in his gloves or some sort, and like maybe like iron or some sort that was placed in there apparently. And then next thing you know, they did a rematch. Man, Tyson got knocked down pretty badly at one point, like just with one punch, and then Wilder would thought he was gonna win, and apparently next thing you know, Fury gets back up just as always, and that shocked the whole entire audience, like right there. I was like, holy snap! I thought he was just gonna go down cold, so to speak, but apparently, number 2, even bonus, perfect. But yeah, that was like quite intense, to be honest. And now I had to deal with fate. Great. Oh my goodness, why do I have to deal with taxes? Whatever. That was kind of unfortunate. Series of unfortunate events, so to speak. But yeah, that was the craziest comeback that Tyson Fury did, and I think there was also one interview that he ended up doing, and apparently this reporter was like bombarding him with all these messages or these questions like, so what made you so great, etc., or like, how do you do this, and so forth, and trying to spur up some sort of controversy in the process. And all Fury did was like he just like recalled or some of the biblical verses, so to speak. I think one of them was like John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, and whoever believes in him shall not perish and shall have eternal life. And you know, it does kind of ring a bell for some reason, because like I always was curious about the definition of miracles, so to speak. You know, sometimes it is a miracle that happens, and a miracle, basically a noun, a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws, and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency. And you know, sometimes in World of Warship Blitz, I do find some of the games like kind of a miracle, and a lot of players would actually tell me, or a lot of the friends that would tell me, like, you know, some of the matches that I played recently, it was like a miracle, so to speak. And you know, it's something beyond our belief, like disbelief, so to speak, and that's what creates the specialty or the uniqueness of it itself. And I think like apparently one of the verses like just stood out to me, and I think it's always good to look within the context as well, like the context behind the verse as well. And for example, like Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ which strengthened me. And I think, you know, like for example today, the hike was intense, so to speak. Oh, investments. Let's go for 6. I don't think I can make it there. Let's go 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my goodness, nearly missing the taxes. Oh my goodness, that would have been an intense situation. But yeah, as I was saying, which I'm forgetting at the moment. You know, it's kind of strange, you know, like sometimes I get into the spur of the moment, and then later on I just forget what I'm saying. It's like a train of thought just like passed by me, like because I was a second late or some sort. But nevertheless, yeah, so basically, for example, if I can recall what I just said, I can do all things through Christ which strengthened me. You know, like for example today, the hike we did was like we started at 1 p.m. PST, which is Pacific time, to like 4 p.m. PST. So that's like 3 hours straight. We barely had 1 to 2 breaks, and I didn't take any water break whatsoever. I didn't eat lunch. I didn't eat breakfast. That's how bad it was. And basically I had to like hike up with an empty stomach. You know, there were times when I kind of wanted to back out of the hiking, and I think it was at one point where my friend, it's kind of funny. So my friend, oh, now I landed on taxes. Great. You gotta be serious. But yeah, so the interesting part was that a friend of mine, he could barely catch up. So then we were like, oh man, so should we wait for him or so forth? You know, it's just like that Snickers commercial where it showed like Korean. There was like these Korean group of Koreans. They're just like, you know what? Like, let's go ahead and hike. So then they end up hiking, and then this guy's like, "Oppa, Oppa," and then the guy, and he was leaning on like the person who was like still hiking, and then next thing you know, the guy just turns around and hands him a Snicker bar. He's like, "Try this." The guy who keeps on saying "Oppa" opens up the Snicker bar, takes one bite, and then he becomes rejuvenated, or he's like back, like the energy just got restored. And then he looks at the person whom he's leaning against. He's now embarrassed between his friends. So then his friends behind him would like, so that he quickly sprints forward so that he can get away from his friends. And apparently, his friends were like kind of mocking him in the process. They're like, "Oppa, Oppa," you know. I think so in Korean, I think I forgot what it meant. I think it was like something to do with Korean, in Korean, right? Define Oppa in Korean. That means older brother, apparently. Meanwhile, the Korean words Nuna and Uni, meaning older sister, apparently. So I think there's apparently two words that means older brother. So Oppa and Hyung. I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but you can correct me if you know Korean. You're just built differently, man. Yeah, I guess I am. You know, I guess we're all built differently, so to speak. You know, wow, I just lost 50k. Now I'm definitely built differently. I'm losing. But yeah, I think it's kind of interesting. So start band, graduate. Oh, you're giving me a second chance? Okay. Oh my, I only have 30k. What if I end up landing on Texas? I think that would be a pretty bad situation. Oh wait, no. Okay, actually, video game designer would actually be a pretty good choice. Because I never chose video game designer, to be honest. Oh, it wouldn't let me spin. Great. But yeah, it's kind of interesting though, how it all went, so to speak. And yeah, basically with the hiking, so then, like, it's kind of funny. So basically, we were like at least 2 hours in onto the hike, and I think we already accumulated at least 5 miles, at least 3 to 4 miles. Let's just put it like in the safe ballpark. Next thing you know, I still had the energy. I was like, you know what, let's like continue going. And apparently you had to go, in order to get to the highest peak, you had to hike another 1.6 miles plus an additional 0.25 miles. So the 0.25 miles is to the peak, but the 1.6 miles is the route to the peak itself. Or we could have chosen the 1.1 mile itself. And so then he was resting for a bit. He was like kind of huffing, you know. It's like, oh, you know, I'm getting too tired. So then I was like, you know what, congrats, you know, you made it at least this far. You can now choose 1.6 miles plus the 0.25 miles, so that's 1.85 miles, or you can choose the 1.1 miles, so to speak, and, you know, just like deal with it. So then next thing you know, he basically was like kind of reluctant, so to speak. So he was like, no, I don't really want to do this. So then next thing you know, what he ended up doing, oh, what the heck? I get to spin twice? Oh, now I'm stopping. Ooh, okay. Online course or continue life. Okay, last time I chose online course. Let's just do continue life, so to speak. So let's just like test out what are some of the other choices. Like, what difference would it make? Oh, a baby? A family? I'm single and I got a family? Oh, I can just choose a dog. Oh, you can actually adopt pets. There you go. What a miracle, right? The king of happiness at the moment. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting. So then, next thing you know, he's like pointing at a tree that is like maybe like less than a mile, like maybe like 0.5 miles. So we're like, okay, yeah, let's just go to that. He's like, okay, let's go to that tree in particular. We'll hike up to that tree and then we'll call it a day. And then return back, because like by the time we return back, it'll be at least an hour long, so to speak. So then we got to that tree, and then next thing you know, he's like, hey, look, you know, then he became curious. So he's like looking at the end. There's like this sharp turn at the very end. He's like, hey, so you know what? That's kind of interesting. Where does that route take us? And I was like, dude, we just passed by the tree that you just indicated. It's like a large broccoli, like that we just use as a landmark to end our route. And he's like, oh right, you're right, because like it's you know, it just felt like a straight path or some sort. And next thing you know, I was like, okay, so are you gonna go back or just continue going? And he's like, yeah, you know what, let's continue going. I was like, yeah, this guy just changed like all of a sudden, you know? Wow, holy snap. Dang, okay. But like seriously, like how in the world? Like he just changed within like within 2 or 3 minutes. That's how crazy he got. So next thing you know, we're hiking up like 1.1 miles. We get there, no, 1.6 miles. We hike up another additional 1.6 miles, and then we're looking up to the peak. We're like at the diverging road. We're like, okay, you know, that's a peak, 0.25 miles. You know, are you gonna go for it? And they're like kind of hesitant. So I was like, are you serious? You know, why are you that hesitant? You know, it's almost saying with like skydiving. It's like, why are you so hesitant in going forward, you know, with it? And it's like as if they're gonna lose a life or some sort, you know, in that case. And I was like, dude, seriously, you know, I'm just gonna go for it. So I end up hiking up to that like 0.25 miles, but I didn't go all the way, like maybe halfway, so that's probably split. I would say half of 0.25, so that would be 0.125. Just in case, I'll probably just 0.25, keyboard 25 divided by 2, yeah, 0.125. Oh no, let's go risky. Actually, let's go all in, to be honest. Oh, 1 space, and that determines my fate already. Great. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yes! Yes! This family. So close to paying more taxes. And then we'll adopt another pet, I guess. Oh, now you got a dog and cat, so I guess we have both dog and cat fans, so to speak. So yeah, yeah, so then I got to there. Next thing you know, I was just resting for myself, and then fortunately I had data, so I can like go on Discord a lot more and just like check on the chats, etc. And I was waiting for at least 30 minutes, at least 20 to 30 minutes, because I know I was anticipating them to come up. And next thing you know, they actually finally came up, but then they went through like an easier route. Apparently I went through like the toughest route, which was like straight up, which apparently I didn't see that there was like a do not enter sign, so to speak, because it was pretty steep hill, you know. And as you're climbing up, it's almost like going to San Francisco, when you're climbing up the hill like on Washington Street. Yeah, this is really steep, like I'm telling you, like that's how steep it was. You can barely get your footing onto the ground, you know. And man, as I was like climbing up, like it was like every step of the way I just felt like a heavy burden, so to speak. But slowly, gradually as it got up, you know, to that point, it was, you know, it kept that, you kind of get that rewarding feeling, you know. It's like, yes, you know, I finally did something, you know, I finally achieved something. But I think next time, like because of the time crunch, so to speak, because today I was planning to stream like at 6 p.m. PST, but unfortunately I did not, because we secretly, between me and all of you guys, basically I like fried chicken was in my mind, so then me and my friends end up getting fried chicken. It was called Bon's Chicken. Bon's Chicken is actually pretty good. Babies for the first time. Is it possible? Oh, adoption. Oh, it's an adoption. Oh, okay. It is an adoption. Okay. That's kind of interesting. Kind of works out either way. But nevertheless, yeah, basically going back to the hiking. So yeah, I was waiting for them, and then finally they got to the point where they were like, yes, you know, they actually finally made it through 30 minutes later. So at the end of the day, as we were going back, basically we completed at least at least 10 miles. I would say 10 miles total. Like 6 miles through, maybe 6 to 7 miles straight, and then another additional 7 miles back. So that's like total 14 miles. That's crazy, actually. I've never done this. This is like my only time I ever like hiked 14 miles. But yeah. What fried chicken? Yeah, it's interesting part is Korean fried chicken. That is what it is. Korean fried chickens are pretty good. You know, if you go to depending on where you're at, and also how they serve it, the crispiness. Like we got like some of the crispy chicken, like garlic fried chicken. Oh man, that was like sweet and buttery flavor to it. Yeah. It's Vaughn's Chicken. If you can like search it up, actually. I think they have several chain nearby, within the San Francisco area and also San Jose area, so to speak. And those are like the best places to go for. And I can never resist that. Like in comparison to KFC, I have to admit, like one time I went to Louisville by myself. And family movie night, nice. So I went to Louisville, Kentucky by myself, mainly because there was a Christian conference, so to speak, and featuring John Piper and so forth. And apparently, along the process, like apparently in the airport there was like KFC, right? Because it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, so to speak, quote unquote. And as I was going in there, I ordered like only like a $5 meal. Like it only included a fried chicken drumstick with a biscuit and maybe like a drink or some sort. But to be honest, like that one piece of fried chicken, like it was like the soggiest fried chicken I ever had. And it was, even though it was fried, like boiled up, like fried up, it was still like so oily to the point that you kind of feel disgusted, so in a sense. That's for me. That's my personal take on that. But there's also another, apparently in Louisville, Kentucky, there is I think it's called Wings, something like that. Wings something. Man, they cook the best fried chicken that you can get, and it's more so like near the Louisville downtown. The one regret I do have in Louisville was to take the bourbon whiskey tour. That is the only one that I kind of regretted. The other rest I got to experience was like the Louisville Sluggers. So that's where they manufacture all the baseball bats for the Major League Baseball team, and that's pretty legit. You get to see Barry Bonds bat. I think there was Babe Ruth's bat, how it's made. You get to see the process in which the bats are the baseball bats that are made. So basically, they have the spinner, so then they will spin it thoroughly, and then they'll cut it right to the point where it's like a cylindrical shape. Once they have done so, they would like trim it off on the very back end, any like stems or so forth. This time I'm going to pension. I made a mistake last time of going to the other one, the activities, because you get 100k if you hit the black, 10k if you hit the red. I think 10k. Okay, I guess I got 10k. Oh well. But game is already over. Oh my goodness, I underestimated the opponents. But yeah, basically. In Louisville, Kentucky. So the Louisville Sluggers. And next thing you know, they would tar it up. They have like custom made bats, and they would tar it up with a specific color of their choosing. And then from that point, once it's completely dried out, then it is what it is for them. Oh snap. She definitely wow, she actually made a lot more better choices than I did in this game. So I think the strategy, to be honest, I think the strategy would be for her was master's degree, 1 house, 3 times knowledge, 1k, oh not 1k, 1 time the baby. Apparently she got the first job. I think she got married in the process, so she got 4 times happiness. This one, master's degree, I can see that, yeah. First job as an athlete, got a pet, no babies. This one had a baby, okay. So then she must have, and she invested in a house as well. So house, can do you wonders. You basically, it's kind of a raffle ticket. Yes, no, not at the moment. But yeah, it was pretty interesting, to be honest. I think I'll just play another one, just for the fun of it. But yeah, and basically, ooh, we got. Okay, interesting. Man, she took my favorite color. Oh, now she left. Oh, okay, now that gives me the chance to get my favorite color. Dark blue. Dark blue light, yay. Oh, only 3 people? Wow, that's pretty fast actually. Okay, we're getting like speed lightning like games right here. But yeah, basically, oh my goodness, I just lost my train of thought again. Great. Now I have to think about this a little bit more. Great. Yeah, I think I kind of lost my train of thought, to be honest. But yeah, fried chicken, bourbon whiskey, college. Oh my goodness, I just like switched topics like within an instant, to be honest. Let's see. Oh, okay, we got action. Mow the neighbor's lawn. Risky. Oh, actually, camping under the stars. Camping is actually quite fun. Depending on whom you're with. Yeah, definitely. This is like the best thing you're ever gonna have. Okay, I'm gonna be right back for just a bit, maybe like 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. So please bear with me here. Oh snap, dude, look at that legitimate. Waiting for Anthony. Thank you all for bearing with me here. Oh well. But yeah, I think, to be honest, like, enough of me. My story can sometimes be kind of boring, quote unquote, and also slightly entertaining, depending on the person's taste, so to speak. But yeah. But yeah, like, feel free, as I said before, feel free to like chat or just like type a message or so forth, and like you can, and also like maybe like tell me a little bit about yourself, so to speak, and we can, it gives me somewhat a little bit more topics, I guess, so to speak. And it's also good to know you all, because you all are there dedicating. Oh, finally graduate from college. Oh snap. So is this gonna be chef design? Oh, robotics engineer. Wow, so many taxes actually. Okay, let's just do this. Lucky number 5. Spin off 5, please. Dream come true. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Oh, exactly on the payday. that's the dream of payday, to be honest. But yeah, yeah, banchan. Yep, the life of banchan. And yeah, banchan chicken, dude, that's the best. I think the next one would be like to visit South Korea, to be honest, just for banchan chicken. Would you redo college? Will you redo going to college again, knowing what you know now after graduating? You know, to be honest, I would redo college again. You know, I think if I had the choice to be honest, there was also that one course. Because the reason why is because I would not take the courses that I didn't need to take. What do I mean by that? You might be asking. For example, during my college year, my first freshman year in college, I was supposed to be a chemistry. I was supposed to major in chemistry, Bachelor of Science, because I wanted to be a doctor. Because my dad was an acupuncturist back in China, so to speak. So I kind of wanted to be like a doctor, so to speak. And biology was impacted within that college, so I ended up choosing chemistry because I thought that was kind of similar to it. So I kind of went through that route. Apparently, I evaded all the courses for chemistry requirements, so I ended up doing business. So business, I think I was focusing on business management because I love to. I don't like supervising people, to be honest, because there's a lot of headaches that are involved sometimes, and the relationship between the employee and the manager is always you have to strike a delicate balance, and try not to overextend it, because if you do end up overextending it, then the employee gets mad at you, higher ups gets mad at you as well. So definitely there's like a fine line to it, and I'm gonna end up pay Anthony. Great. But yeah, calculus was the one that I regret taking. Reason why, even though it was part of the requirement for my chemistry major, which I had to in order to maintain a Bachelor of Arts, so to speak. Okay, let's try to get married this time. So basically, apparently, yeah, so interesting. Okay, great. Maybe we'll skip the scene. Maybe not. I don't know. Great. I guess the wedding just happened within like 1 second. Less than 1 second. Oh, you get to spin to collect. Okay, that's actually quite interesting. Oh snap, 40k from each person right out the spot. But yeah, calculus 1. Apparently, ratemyprofessors.com. Very essential. That is like the crucial part. Even though I checked the ratemyprofessors.com on that calculus professor, he was social wise, he was fine. But when it came to the course itself, like definitely he'll give us pop quizzes. Apparently pop quizzes would occur on Tuesdays. That's what I noticed as a pattern. But there was that 1 week, he gave us another pop quiz. 2 pop quizzes within 1 week. So Tuesday and Thursdays, on Tuesday and Thursday. So there's only 2 questions. You can either get 100, basically a C, basically 50, if you get one wrong, then it's going to be 50%, so you're going to get an F. So it's an A or F, and he might give you some extra credit. He might give you some credit, so to speak, to it. So maybe like if you get some of the steps right, so to speak. And yeah, so basically did that, and he was more of a theoretical person. He would talk about squeeze theorem, etc. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can't deal with it. And a lot of my classmates couldn't handle it. And yes, of course, the Rate My Professor, yes, it can be biased, but there are actually some truth to it, you know, because apparently at the end, that's why, apparently you can't get, if you get like a D+, D+ is not considered a pass, apparently, in that specific college. You have to get like a C- or above. And I got a D+, ended up failing that, so I had to retake it in order to maintain my major, which is chemistry bachelor. And what ended up happening was that I ended up taking it during the summer. This teacher was a lot more in step by step, which I appreciated the most. And this was taken in a community college. Apparently it was worth 5 credits. Next thing you know, like, probably for your major program, major program, my bad. Major program, probably so, to be honest. I think it could be that. But I think to be honest, I think it affects in a lot of the programs, to be honest, just in general. Because like for some it works, sometimes it doesn't. Non-major, usually you can get them D's for passing. Non-major, usually you can get them D's for passing. Huh. Oh, that's interesting to know, actually. To be honest, I never knew that. I think I was mostly stuck with the credential, because I think I had the mentality of just like getting a C or above, so to speak. As long as I get a C, then like C is passing. Didn't really have that high expectation for myself, to be honest. Like I always keep it at low expectation, so that if I have a high expectation, it would usually shoot me down. It's almost like shooting myself on the foot. But yeah, basically, apparently, funny story. Community college, right? Calculus 1. Everything, I was managing to get a C, but then apparently, we had the final review day. Apparently, you had 2 days worth of final review days, and next thing you know, I was, how should I put it? So the first day I didn't miss, but second day, alarm clock doesn't ring. I was supposed to wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning. Apparently, my roommate was like walking out of his bedroom door, and I was like kind of curious. I was like, why is he waking up this early? I look at the alarm clock, it was 10 a.m. Basically, 3 hours has already passed by. I was like, what in the world has happened? So, because my class ended at 12 p.m. So that was happening during the afternoon. So what ended up happening was I was like, oh my goodness, this is what's going on. Basically, I wouldn't have time to review it, because by the time I get there, it's around 10:30ish, maybe 10:40. So basically, I wouldn't have 1 hour and 10 minutes, and that's really pretty bad, because you don't get that much. You can't necessarily review all of the material that they went through, and I'm pretty sure they went through the second section. Hence, I end up failing that class as well, so I got D on there. Apparently, funny thing was this. Like, they would give you a problem in that final exam, and I was like kind of looking around to see like what's going on, and apparently my classmates were also struggling the same thing as I did. And funny thing was that like there was this problem. It was like something to do with the river. So it was like, so the river is 6 kilometers wide, and the length is 12 kilometers. And then there was like the pipe that. And then apparently you had to build a pipe diagonally that connects to the point P or some sort. And oh gosh, okay, taxes. So basically what ended up happening was that it was like $220,000 per square feet or some sort. And next thing you know, I didn't know how to solve that problem, to be honest. And a lot of my classmates were struggling too. Your Professor Dracula? No. No. He wasn't Dracula. No, not at all. Man, I have a feeling that I probably sounded like the Count Dracula in like Sesame Street. It's like, ha ha, 1, ha ha, 2, or something like that, or something like that. When you're counting up the numbers, which is kind of funny. But yeah, basically I failed that one. And then third time was the charm. Thank God, thank God we passed that class, because we had a Ukrainian professor. The way that I interpreted him, it was just the problem. That kind of reminds me of like a Russian/Ukrainian accent, so to speak, because it's like, because only Europeans, like in general, would use kilometers, in comparison to the Americans. Americans, we just use miles instead of kilometers, so to speak. oh, let me spin first. And next thing you know, it just kind of reminded me of like a Russian accent. That prompt just, for some reason, it just reminds me of it. So yeah. Well, actually, I prefer this. But yeah, and fortunately, I got this Ukrainian professor. He had, on ratemyprofessor.com, apparently he was like 4.5 chili. I think they use like chili peppers as a way of measuring the spiciness or some sort. But yeah, you mean everyone but the US uses the metric system? Yes, indeed. You're right on there. Basically everyone uses it. Like, I think it's kind of interesting, like when it comes to also like tools. In particular, Japanese uses like 14. Let's say like when it comes to like socket wrenches or so, you would use 14 millimeter if you need 14 millimeter or 8 millimeter, and then while us in the US we use like ½ inch or like 5-6 inch, etc. Which is kind of interesting to me, interesting from my perspective, so to speak. But yeah, finally, like I failed. I did well on the first exam, and then I bombed the second exam for some reason. I think maybe I wasn't prepared or some sort for the second one. So yeah, and next thing you know, final exam. Oh my goodness, final exam was kind of tough for me, and I had to like, there was some sort of creative way that was involved. So thank God for that. And somehow I ended up passing it with a B, so yay. So that's the moral of the story. So never give up on there. Imperial system. Oh well. It is what it is, we just have to bear with it, so to speak. It is, sometimes life doesn't really make sense to a certain extent, but you know what, it is what it is. Like you're stopped in the, it's just like this, you're stopping in the crossroads and you're just like wondering like what to do. End up you're getting a master's degree. Oh, nice, brain surgeon. Now I can examine. Oh, number 1. So close. Let's see. But what if I give up on giving up? What if I give up on giving up? Oh, that's a good question, to be honest. Ooh, learn another language. What if I give up on giving up? That's a good one, actually. I think... Yes. I guess I would be contradicting my advice in some sense. But... this is my own opinion, to be honest. I mean, for you, maybe it'll be a different story. I don't know what's your intake for that, to be honest. Ooh, take it. Yeah. So, what is your perspective on that? Actually, now I'm kind of thinking about it. Like, if you give up on giving up, that's kind of an interesting spin that you kind of brought up, because I think sometimes we have to question that too. It is like, sometimes like even questions like these like kind of like bewilder me at times because like I never really question, because sometimes I never question this, until it's brought up. So it's like whenever a problem comes in, usually it's best to face the problem where it is at, But as there was like a meme, apparently, a meme for one of the Japanese oyster farmer, I suppose. So then he was like talking about like, I was in the freezing cold temperature and so forth. You're trying to give up? I'm in this outside freezing temperature and I'm picking up oysters. And then like next thing you know, there's like huge subtitles. There's this like, never give up. And then next thing you know, it's just like, it just spiraled out of control, during the internet. Let's see. It's not real. Same thing with dividing by 0. Oh, so they'll be undefined. Wait. Yeah, I guess so. Wait, why would I say undefined? What am I doing? I guess so, actually. Yeah, it does. Sort of, I guess. Maybe. Oh man, I'm maybe I'm just not thinking it right or some sort in the process, you know. Okay. Yeah, I was probably just not thinking it through, to be honest. I mean, it's not real. Same thing with dividing by 0. We're safe. Oh, that's kind of an interesting way of putting it. Although, to be honest, I can't. Like, a lot of questions. Like, for example, like, what if I give up on giving up? To be honest, I don't have the answer for that. Not even, like, even answering the question or the statement, like, it's not real. Same thing with dividing by 0, you know. Ooh, get a paka. Huh? Nani? What? I mean, the statement makes no sense. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. I mean, the statement makes no sense. Well, what if I give up on giving up? Wouldn't that contradict your advice? Yeah. Okay, then I think now it kind of begs the question. Then what would be the proper way of actually advising? Actually, you can't really. Well, I guess the best way. Okay, I think then I guess the statement then can become give up on the opposite day. Wait, what? Give up on the opposite day? No, on the opposite day, give up. If that's the best way of, like, conveying a message. Of not giving up. Because the opposite of giving up is not giving up. Okay, you know what? I'm done with pension. Then that's giving your all. Yeah, give it your 100%. You know, that's I think there was also a motive to it, you know, because there was at one point. Actually, would I say that? That one would probably be best to save. I would say that. It's exactly the advice you gave. Oh well. Yeah, exactly. Yep, basically I just gave that advice. And yeah, giving your all. That is my advice this week. I mean, even in, like, you've seen, yeah, I think for those that haven't checked out my streams so far, like for World of Warship Blitz, like, I think, to be honest, like, there's so many cases I lost, like, like, there's so many cases I would lose a lot of battles, right? But end up still continuing on. Like, why is it the case that I continue on with it even though I hate losing? It's because one, I could try to improve the performance of it. Second, I can then see what are some of my weaknesses by replaying the stream itself, you know. What bird will you ride into battle? What bird will you ride into battle? Good question, actually. I mean, if the eagle was large enough for me to sit on, I would definitely sit on that, to be honest. Ooh, visit the pyramids or learn to paint. Visit the pyramids. I would want to visit. How about you? Why you want to know? What bird will you ride into battle? An ostrich? No, I was joking. An ostrich would have been like my second pick, probably. He'll just like stick his head into the sand and then like try to avoid anything to do with conflicts. But yeah, I think, to be honest, like, yeah, an eagle. Can't do that. Wait, can't do what? Tell me more. Gotta choose a bird without modifying it. Interesting. Mine's a cassowary. That's interesting, cassowary. I've never heard that, to be honest. Cassowary. Oh snap! Those birds? Oh snap! That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I think. What did they do? I feel like they did that on an anime. I have a feeling that they had it similar to the anime version as well. What to do if you see a cassowary? If you encounter a southern cassowary, back away slowly and put something like a tree or a backpack between yourself and the bird and let it go on its way. Let's see. So cassowary apparently is a genus of birds in the order Cassowariiformes, whose members are the cassowary. So a red-eyed flightless bird without a keel. That's interesting. On its sternum bone, and it's a native to tropical forests of New Guinea, Papua New Guinea, and Indonesia. Oh, that's interesting. And also North Eastern Australia. Oh, that's interesting. Never knew that. And apparently is the southern cassowary is the third tallest and second heaviest living bird, smaller only than ostrich and emu. You know what? I would probably ride on an emu. I think I found out. Yeah. Denver's just scary as emus, and emus want to war against emus. Yep. It's crazy though. I was kind of impressed that emus actually won against emus, just like by reading the history of it. Like earlier we had a friend of mine's JJT15 basically mentioned about emu, like whether do you know that the emu won the war or so forth, and man, that really impressed me, like just even look into the history of it. Yep. What? Nani? Wow, that actually worked. That actually worked. Yeah, that actually worked. Wow, I didn't know that. Oh, because the other person quit. Apparently. Oh, Anthony, no, he didn't quit. Oh, snap. That's crazy about actually. Huh, interesting. Wow, that's pretty impressive though. Oh yeah. Wait. Oh my goodness, now I have to review the chat. Let's see. Are you playing a robot? Never mind, it's an AI. And how did we even get to that point though, to be honest? I'm just like looking back. You're Australian, trivia knowledge, naval stuff. Afraid of heights, Mariana, big ear. Oh, wait, what? Really? That's how we came to emus? Yeah, I think so. I guess that's how it came to about. Yeah, I think. Wait, speaking of wars, yeah, okay, okay. Now I recall. Yeah, the Great Emu War. Yeah, the Great Emu War. Yep, you're right. Yep, you're right. Exactly right. I was completely dumbfounded for a moment. because I was trying to like figure out. I was like trying to recap like what one. Let me see, how long have we been streaming for? For at least like 1 hour and 49 minutes. I think 1 hour and 49. No, yeah, 1 hour and 10 minutes, so to speak. So that's how crazy it got. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Appreciate you for pointing that out. Oh snap! Outfit unlocked. Well, I think it was a pleasure having you all in the stream. In particular, you know, just as I promised yesterday that I would play the Live 2 game, and we eventually did so. So glad you all could bear with me totally. And I think, and just in case, feel free to also, I would just go ahead and yeah, so currently we are actually having some giveaways. If you haven't checked out our Social Unity server, please feel free to do so. I'll go ahead and post the link right here. This is our Social Unity Discord. It's eventually, the purpose of it is supposed to allow people from all different circumstances to socialize, chat, and also like bring in YouTubers for those that are interested in becoming a YouTuber. So maybe you're good in discussing about politics, maybe you're good with discussing about emus, like why you want to know, like about trivia questions, so to speak, you know, and etc. And if you found this entertaining, please leave a like and subscribe if you want further content like this. And I try to stay consistent with my streams in particular, but when things do go off track, I would post them on the announcement page, so to speak, on the Discord, so definitely check that out. And please also check out the roles channel to select your roles in particular, and because that really helps us out in particular when we're doing pings, etc. for giveaways. But yeah, hope you all have a nice rest of the day, and peace out. And thank you.